I like you. I'm so excited about what music really is and understanding that music, when it started, it didn't have lyrics. It was just music. Music was something I couldn't shake. No matter how much sports I played, no matter what I did, it was just something I couldn't shake. So my daddy would quiz me on everything from Babyface to Atlantic Star, and anything in between. Four Tops to Temptation to the Supremes to Marvin Gaye.
You are back to another great episode of Two Paths Podcast. I am your main man, the Postman. That's my main man, LD. And today, man, I got one of my old, long-time great friends that we're going to be talking to today, man. And I'm so excited about this interview. But before we get in it, I got to get y'all over to YouTube. Get over to the Two Paths Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Because after you see this one, you will not want to miss another one. LD, tell them who we got.
Our guest today is from Okeechobee, Florida. He spent years as a recording artist. He's a songwriter. He managed artists. His biggest challenge, moving out of his comfort zone, following his passion, and navigating through the music business and building meaningful relationships. His biggest win, the next one. Every win is his biggest win. Negotiated his artist Costa's new deal with Big Boogie's Red Rum Records. The person he would take to dinner to pick his brain, Malcolm X. Favorite quote, in order to impress someone, you have to impress yourself. He's a creator and relaxes with golf and cigars, my man. To stay free of the clutter, Givenchy Royal, the band director.
Hey, I like you. I like you. I like you. That was nice. I like you.
Appreciate you.
Hey, you for taking out the time to come sit down with us, bro.
Man, thank you for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure, dog. You ain't gonna believe it, dog. We've been talking about you since you said, yeah, I got you. You ain't even gotta ask twice.
I said, Cam, you gotta fill me in, dog, cause he from Chobin now. I left a long time ago, so you gotta fill me in. He filled me in, man.
And this be the thing. With a lot of people that we bring up, I have my notes. I've been to wrote down some questions. But this one here, it seemed like I'm finna be talking in the mirror because of our history. But I ain't gonna tell the people about who you is. I want you to tell them who you is. Who is Givenchy Royal for the people that don't know?
Man, I would like to say I'm a man of vision. I'm a man of faith, a man of structure, man of detail. I pay attention to a lot of detail. You know, I'm a person that I think I carry where I came from on me, no matter where I go. It's always in me. Everybody already know where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a man of like I said, I'm a man of detail, which also means to me I'm a man that really likes to understand people on another level. I think once I learned that I understood people to the level that I did, that's when I think took off as far as my career, when I even switched over into management and understanding how people work and how people think. You're a manager, I always say that you have to be a therapist first because you their first line of defense. So like I said, man, I'm a pretty open book, pretty I'd like to say musically inclined person to a certain small degree.
No, very.
So when did you know you had that gift?
Oh man, I probably knew I had that gift, man. I would say, I know it's cliche, but I had to be like 3, 4, 5 years old, like knowing that I would cause music always just felt different. How people would talk about music is not how I felt it. You know what I'm saying? It always just felt different. I started out like my dad used to always have me. I used to have little record players, like the little toy record players that play real records. But he had a whole crazy record stash. So he would literally make me study different artists and stuff like that. So I had to like play different records and stuff like that. And he would quiz me on, well, what did this person say? What do you think about this? So I'm explaining music at a young age. And then it just kind of trickled down from there. And then when I got in band, that's when it all really clicked, like learning how to read music and learning how to understand music on another level. I'm a person where I work out the classical music. So it's like, understanding and feeling like the vibrations of what music really is, and understanding that music, when it started, it didn't have lyrics. It was just music. So everything sounds like one big thing to me. Like everything is a sound, like the lyrics, everything is a sound to me. So my mind has always worked another way when it came to feeling and understanding music and understanding how I wanted to write it, which is the reason why I fell in love with certain cadences early, because everything just was one collective to me. And band let me know, like being in band let me know that, and that's what started, man. Like it was very young where I figured out like what my passion was, and I kept building on it. Sometimes you ignore what you really, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we all play sports. Like I was a ball player, you know what I'm saying? I played basketball, played football a couple years. Cam and them boy, they was on the football field like religiously. All my partners, music was something I couldn't shake. No matter how much sports I played, no matter what I did, it was just something I couldn't shake. So I just tried to make the most of it on every level that I participated in music.
That's funny you say that, right? That being that child with the little record player, and your dad actually got you sitting down and breaking down and dissecting music, right?
Yeah.
And when I met you, you had a real deep love for music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that actually answers a question that I could have probably asked you. And I'm glad Larry did, because I want to know where that passion came from, but you just told us that. But by you doing that and you just spoke on something, that helped you, that allowed you to become the writer that you were in that moment, right?
Yeah. I wrote my first record at 10. Like I wrote my first song when I was 10 years old. And then that's where I think the writing side came in, because I would study different writing styles and different people. And you got to think, I had already been quizzed on a lot of writers. I had already been quizzed on a lot of songs. So my daddy would quiz me on everything from Babyface to Atlantic Star and anything in between. Four Tops of Temptation to the Supremes to Marvin Gaye. But you got to know how Michael Jackson is different from Prince. Like that's what, you know what I'm saying? So when I started writing, that's when I was able to understand like the importance of having being an individual when it comes to writing and having your own sound. And I think that's why I really cater towards people and lean towards people who have their own sound. That's why I think me and Postman actually really kind of like meshed on certain stuff. Like, boy, I wish y'all was a fly on the wall in the room, but like, I think we meshed because, you know what I'm saying? It was always distinctive. It was always, you knew when his verse came on, you knew when something came, like, and I was just built like that, bro. I feel like I was built for it.
That's real. Go ahead, Larry.
So we're going to rewind. So we from Okeechobee, but then from Okeechobee, what happened?
So I was in the room. This was 2005. Lord. 2005, I'm sitting in my room and I'm making beats and I'm beating the paint off the wall. My mama busting the door. Boom. And I'm like, I got this too loud. She was like, she like, you gotta go. So if you hear that from your mama, what's the first thing you think? Like, what did I do? Like, well, I gotta get out. She was like, nah, not to get out. You can't bottle this here anymore. It's too big. You gotta go explore it. It ain't gonna happen here. You need to go to where somebody can actually hear this. I'm sending you to Atlanta with your cousin. So within about 2 weeks, we had them packed up my car, and then she drove me to Atlanta, which is a full circle moment, which is funny because she drove me to Atlanta, and I'm thinking I'm about to start like this is what I'm about to pop off, about to start my career. And then that lasted for about a couple of weeks, and then I moved to Virginia. So I lived in Virginia for a year, and that's when, you know what I'm saying, during that year, that's when I linked up with Postman and Top Boy and everybody. We went to West Virginia, shut it down. The show came through, shut that down. Shut it all down.
Well, Virginia, shut it down.
Entire weekend, shut it down. Huntington, boy, we came up there and did that, and like, but
shout out to Kurt
in that time, shout out to Kurt. But I think in that time, I had moved there, and then I ended up moving to Charlotte. So I'm thinking that, you know, Atlanta is like, that was like kind of a afterthought at that point. I'm like, let me see what I can do with Charlotte. I was in Charlotte for 11 years, but I was going back and forth and kind of, you know, building my relationships. But full circle moment, I ended up moving to Atlanta anyway, and that's when everything really took off. And I told my mama probably about a few months ago, I actually told her when we was actually in Chobe. And I told her, I said, the funniest thing is when you sent me to Atlanta and I thought that it was going to go from there, I said, you literally sent me to grow first, to be ready for it. And it's funny how we always think that when we just go into something, it's a instant thing like this, and you really like, God is moving you into a different direction just so you can grow and be ready for it when I bring it back to you. And then it was like, that's why I said it was like a full circle moment. I didn't know that, like, it's like the movie, The Odyssey, like Moses' journey was long too. And he didn't even get there. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. But I ain't coming with you. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was like, in times where I was frustrated after leaving, you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, maybe it's because I came from a small city and nobody really learned in that small town, bro, that's so big to us. Like she sent me out, bro. Like it was a long journey before I actually got back to where I'm at right now. But that's how I started, like being from Chobe and just coming up, and she pushed me out. She pushed me out the door, and I ain't looked back.
I think coming from Chobe give us a different type of drive.
Yeah.
And this is the crazy part about it. As long as we're in Chobe, we never really explore how much drive we truly have or will need to navigate life because we're so comfortable. Because this is where I'm at. But when you get up and go, talk to us about it.
I think that a problem that a lot of people have from a small city is that they don't feel like they deserve the success because of where they're from.
Hold on. Say that for the people in the back. Say that again.
Like when you come from a small place, there's a innate feeling like sometimes you got to go to the eyes and stop waiting for them to come to you. And some people are blessed who don't deserve what somebody from a bigger city feel is going to get because you feel that there's more eyes. With being in a place where the eyes are already there, and then some people, have to actually go do it. But what you do realize in a lot of bigger cities, like from the outside looking in, and you're like, I wish I was there. And then you're like, nah, I see a lot of lazy people in the big cities because everything's there. So the person who figures out how to get out and go get it and like learn something about life and start mingling around with different people and you in different sets and just different situations and you building all of these different relationships, you appreciate coming from the smaller places because you got to understand, we had to go to the eyes. You don't stop that. You don't stop that. You know how to get up and go to these people and talk to these people and Chobe ain't nothing but Chobe ain't nothing but a whole bunch of shit talkers. That's what we do. That's what we know how to do this. In Chobe, we know how to do this. Act J Love. They talk with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? We know how to actually talk, bro. And I think if more people understood that's what we have in us. That's a talent. That is a special talent that we have when we know how to talk. That translates no matter where you go. I don't give a damn you in Chobe or you in LA. That talk game, bro. They can't match us on that. So if you look at it and you see the ones that have actually took the initiative to really do something, it doesn't matter even if they stay there. They take the initiative to do something. We're really successful at it, bro.
Yeah. Larry talked about this, right? Because growing up, nowadays, they didn't put a title on it. It's called bullying. But when we was growing up, I'm cracking on you. When they hear about a lot of things that we didn't like, damn, that was hard. That was rough. That was traumatizing. Now for us, that was life. Right. That was growing up.
Right.
And that has helped shape us.
100%.
In more ways than a lot of people can ever understand. Because you have so many people that leave Chobe and they life just blossom.
It blossoms, yeah.
And they become the success stories that Chobe needs. Because right now where Chobe at, it's in a dark place. I ain't gonna lie, I visit often. It's in a dark place. But it can get better. And it will get better over time. You know what I'm saying? But just it's people with that has left and has really made something out of themselves because of the transition that they made and what they went through at that time. Go ahead, LD.
So it's a collective, right? It's a collective mindset that's there, right? And it's like a fishbowl. But it's a lot of fish that's swimming around. And of course, in order for a fish to grow bigger, right, he has to get out of that fishbowl, right?
Yeah.
He needs some bigger water. He might need to go to a bigger pond. He might need to go to a lake. Then he might need to go to an ocean. So that's why people do need to, even if they go back to Chobe, they need to leave Chobe. Because when they leave Chobe, that gives them a sense of now of being, right? Okay, now I've learned all this stuff. Or you don't really know how much you learned. But now when you go to the city and you have to exercise or pull from something, now you start to understand, oh, wow, I did learn something. Damn, I am better than I thought I was.
Right.
But it was the company that I was keeping that was making me feel like I didn't know.
Right.
And that's what made them feel better.
I think one thing I can say, like you hitting the nail on the head, and when you actually say it's the company, we was even talking about like kind of hitting on it a little bit earlier. I was blessed with Dallas and Dalton. I was blessed with them because they were they constantly poured into me. They constantly checked me when I was dead wrong, like constantly. And we talking about just years. Still to this day, I jump on the phone with them cats right now. Nah, Ted, you shouldn't have did. Nah, like it's a like I was blessed with two dudes that really, you know what I'm saying, really poured into me. And when we start doing this whole music thing, like it was just, I think that's what made us be like very seamless because it was, nah, you can do this. Nah, you can push harder. You can go through. And I think so when I did leave, that was the hardest thing, probably like leaving them was the hardest thing. But the one thing that they kept saying was like, nah, bro, if you got the ticket to go do it, you need to go do it. You know what I'm saying? You need to go do it. Like it's not, don't sit here and wait on us to just everybody like it's supposed to happen. Like it's not supposed to happen like that. You need to go, make something of it. I mean, and like I said, I was blessed with them. So the company that I did keep on a regular basis was always pouring into me. So it probably made my path a little bit easier than, everybody don't have that. Some people just have, you know what I'm saying? Everybody like, man, you can't do that, man. Nah, you ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I know my man Postman. I know his history. I know a lot of people that probably wrote my boy off, but I always knew this up. He had this here from when we was jits, bro. Like you always had that. So it's like, I always knew he could climb out of any hole he was in. I seen him do it multiple times. So I don't know if everybody's built the same way, you know what I'm saying, as far as being able to be that strong, because some people like lie down and never get up.
Right.
But I think like the company that you keep, you can overcome it if you're like, but you have to be a special type of person to overcome that because it's a lot on you. Or you can just be special within a group of special people that can really help push you. So when you do get out of the city, like I said, all of these things are stuff that we keep remembering.
Mm-hmm.
Like we remember what happened when I was in this situation of like Chobi taught us too much for us to forget. So
right.
Like you use those tools everywhere, man. Like you use those tools everywhere. And I think, you could be from Cincinnati. I think whatever you grew up with, if you got special tools, man, you use those to help you navigate through life for the rest of your life.
Right. Mm-hmm. And even with that, right, talking about and what you experienced through Dallas and Dalton, right? Mm-hmm. I think that like you said, that really the bond that you guys had created, because I came along like, okay, yeah, like y'all my cousins, but like y'all over here doing this here, and y'all ain't even know what's going on over here, and I'm doing this over here because right now this is what's cool. This was popping. When I get some time, I stop by there and check y'all out. You know what I'm saying? But right now, y'all making beats or whatever. Saying that too, right? Is that when you're not surrounded by the right people, you'll end up in the wrong place. Mm-hmm. Every time. No matter how it may look in the beginning, like this may be the right place, you're going to be at the wrong place at the wrong time because you're not with the right people. Because you're not with people that's holding you accountable.
100%.
Right? If I'm dead ass wrong, Larry gonna call and check me. If I'm what it was a year ago, I went through a very small situation and I went to getting the crazy phone calls and all that there. And Larry called me, say, don't let that stop you from where you going or what you're doing. At the time, we was just doing a little TikTok live, right? But I found myself putting myself around the right people and removing myself from around the people who can't pour into me, but I'm always looking to pour into them. And sometimes as you continue on your journey or on your path, it's some people you got to let go of.
Right.
That ain't saying that I don't love you all fuck with you. That's saying right now where I'm at, you can't be a part of this here because you're going to hold me back. You're too heavy for me to continue to carry. And we get so emotionally attached to people that we want to bring everybody along. We want to bring everybody with us. Yep. And I respect what you just said, that they said, hey, no, bro, you go ahead. If you got a ticket, you go. Because I know of a situation that a guy had a way out. If my dog them can't come in, I can't go. He said, I can't leave, bro. You can't leave, bro. Well, I've been in situations where I ain't had no choice but to leave, bro. They put shackles on you, they put you on a bus, and they drive your ass down the state of Florida, free of charge. I done been on tour 3 times like that. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to leave, bro. Now, where I'm at in my life, hey, man, shit, this ain't working.
I like to tell you got to get around an army that matches your weapons. Like, you have to be around people that match your skill set, your mindset, and that can really help push you. when you're special and you got a calling over you, you're going to be the person that's pouring into people more than they pour into you. And that's something that you have to be strong enough to handle because, you know, a lot of times, like you were saying, like when you are the stronger personality, more people are asking you to pour into them. So what you need to do is you need to get around the army that has the same weapons as you. Get around people that's going to pour into you. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be with a lady, make sure that she going to pour into you. Make sure that she going to make you feel right. Because at the end of the day, we all need each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real fine line because a lot of times everything that looks good to us and that looks fun and looks like, okay, I want to do this, like this the best thing to do. You don't see that it wasn't until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So that whole thing about like the army, if you're around the right army, they'll let you, you know what I'm saying, help you see, you know what I'm saying, the forest from the trees and help you see everything that is possibly able to come. Now they can't help you navigate because you still got to be strong enough to do it yourself. And you still got to have the willpower and the drive to do it yourself. But I mean, sometimes it just take that push. Like I said, my mama kicking that door in and just being like, go, you know what I'm saying? Then my partners being like, go. It was, I mean, now you got the pressure. I feel like I'm letting y'all down if I don't.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but when you get that feeling like you gotta let it take over and then you just gotta go, bro. Like you gotta jump. Like if you don't jump, you know what I'm saying? The parachute might open, it might not open.
But jump though, at least jump.
But you don't know unless you jump.
That's real.
Or get pushed.
Or get pushed out.
You about to figure it out.
They will push you out that motherfucker too. Thank you.
So I forgot to mention that in your bio, but you are a husband of 16 years. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, man.
How hard was being in the music business and also staying married, faithful to you, and allowing your relationship to flourish in the music business?
It's hard. You gotta think like when you see.
Because it's going to require a lot of your time.
It takes a whole lot of your time, but you got to think like, yeah, we've been together 16 years, but we actually got together in 2005. So we've been together over 20 years. So you got to think when we first got together, I'm in the heart of the music business. I'm in full on artist mode. I'm traveling. I'm doing shows here. I'm back and forth. And that was an era where you didn't tell everybody that you were in a relationship. Like it wasn't the cool thing to do to be in the relationship, whether it was male or female. You know what I'm saying? Both sides, like you didn't tell, like the women didn't say that they had a man at home. The dude didn't say that they had a woman at home. And I think you got to get somebody that understands you. My wife is overly understanding. Now,
talk about it.
Is there a time that she would be like, hey, okay, now, how long this studio session is? You know what I'm saying? I recall a time, man, I was in a studio session with Neo, and he had told me just to pull up. He was like, hey man, just pull up to the session. Da, da, da. So I'm not working in this particular session. I wasn't working. I was just chilling. Girl, I don't give a damn that that's Neo. Bring your ass on. I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Let me go home. Like, so there's times like, I mean, there's give and take, there's push and pull, but I think if you have somebody that's willing to work through, they do say through thick and thin and through, you know, sickness and health, man, if you take that to heart and you have somebody that's willing to kind of go through that with you, it becomes easier. And then just understanding balance, man. Like you got to create your own balance to be like, hey, y'all, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to book this session till 10 o'clock tonight. We ain't gonna book it to 5 in the morning. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? The studio ain't got no windows anyway. You don't know if it's daytime or nighttime anyway. So it really don't matter. So you just learn how to navigate through things and then have a conversation, man. Ask questions. Ask her how that's feeling because she gonna ask you questions. So just be willing to work through some things. But I mean, is it easy? Hell no. Anybody who say it's easy to be in a relationship that long is lying. But if you found your person, bro, I ain't letting my person go. So
come on.
It don't matter.
Come on.
It don't matter. I told my wife she allowed to leave me any day she want to, as long as she okay with being stalked.
Okay, right?
There you go. Acting stupid. There you go. There you go.
As long as she allowed, hey, listen, bro. Hey, you can go ahead, go. Go ahead and go. But come on, man. Come on. I'm jumping out from behind the bushes when you at the movies with your new dude.
Hey, Pika.
Button, I'm the peekaboo, butt naked on rollerblades. I'm sliding and skating. Hey, what's up? No,
Trying to tell you, hey,
every dude you would gonna be like, nah, that he crazy now.
Hey,
sir.
you just said something. You said, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to get back to that by you working with a lot of big names. But before I get to that, though, I want to know when the transition and what that was like to make that transition from you actually being an artist to you now managing and working with artists. How was that?
So I think I started managing in 2019, and I had been writing for artists for years. Only problem was it was hard. I write R&B and pop. You know what I'm saying? I was a rapper. So it was hard at the time to really get people to listen to, oh, he's a rapper. I don't want to listen to his record. So it's like they didn't want R&B records from a rapper. So what I did was I ended up changing my whole entire sound around 2013 to a more melodic sound, which had been a sound that, and Postman can tell you, I had already been flirting around with melodies and all of this stuff. I just changed it to make that a whole thing. And then that's when that started going. Well, for a while, that actually was able to, give me a whole nother fan base and kind of get me going. And then when I moved to Atlanta in 2018, my manager at the time, Tampa Mystic, she was like, we was going around. And I knew I always wanted to end up being a songwriter. I knew that was the end goal, was to eventually be a songwriter and get out of being an artist. Mm-hmm. And I said that probably 10 years prior to really like getting into that. I was like, that's what I wanted to do. So the way she was actually managing, she had me and like two other artists. And for some reason, I'm just looking at her like how she managing and the stuff that she got to do. And for some reason, deep within me, I was like, I really want to do that. And you got to think, like I said, music was built kind of in me. So I was doing what I thought was my calling.
Right.
When you know something is on the horizon to be your calling, it just looks and feels different. I would say, like, I always had a dream of, like, I would have this dream of, like, standing off to the side of the stage, like, thought I was looking at myself at this big, like, giant show and all of this. And I was like, dang, man, I want to be there. And I would always have that dream growing up. I didn't realize that it was me standing on the side of the stage looking at somebody that I helped get to the stage. So when I literally switched over and I was like, okay, I want to get into management. So then I was like, dang, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm tired of playing the political game. I'm gonna manage my own artists and put my records that I wrote on my own artists. Sounds easy enough, right? Like, so we gonna put out the record, so you have no choice but to hear my records and then be like, who did this? So I did that, and I ended up managing a producer that I still work with to this day. And he brought me a couple artists, and now I'm starting to manage artists. And then I had this artist named Asia Marquis, and I wrote her whole project. But we started working together in like February, and by December, she had a deal on the table. That's when I knew. I said, the hybrid of me being able to be a songwriter and being a manager, I didn't have to choose. And when I realized that I didn't have to choose, that's when a lot of doors started to open up to where it just became a whole nother thing. Now, do I have to write for every artist that I'm looking? No, I don't. But that's how it started. Like, me going to songwriting went into the management whole thing. And then now it just started to climb. And all I do, man, is I just want to be the manager that I always wanted to have as a manager. That's it. Certain things, like now with me being musically inclined the way I am, I'm that manager that can be in the studio with you and come up with the melodies and come up with choruses and put the right pieces together, get the right features on the song. I can A&R your whole entire project and still go handle all the business on the phone outside the studio. So because I can I'm a dual threat like that, that's what kind of helped me get my success. Like that, now it's not how everybody else is going to do it, but that's just what worked for me to this day. Like, I still have artists that, you know what I'm saying, I'm there all the time, bro. I was just in a session last night where we were getting Coastal next single mix, and we just going through, like, so I can still be close to the music and the creative process, but it's something about helping somebody live their dream, bro, and achieve something. I don't care. Like, that's why I said the next win is my biggest win, because the biggest win recently was her getting signed to, a label, but seeing how she looked, knowing that this next single coming out, I'm like, and Kosa is my little cousin too. So that makes it even more of a whole thing. But yeah, man, I mean, that's how I got into the management. Like, I had to tell you about the songwriting before I got into the management.
And I love that too for you, right? Because when you just said by being a dual threat, it's like you've been a dual threat since the beginning then, because before you was a songwriter and a manager, you was artist and a producer. You see what I'm saying? And it was just seamless because that's what works for you. It was your fit.
Yeah.
So making that transition to go from being a producer and an artist to now being a songwriter and a manager was just a natural transition for you.
Natural.
And I'm so proud of your success because I seen your growth, right? In your development. I seen it. I done sat in these rooms with you. We done had these back and forth conversations, like, bruh. And I'm asking, and I done wrote 5 songs, and I'm asking you, like, bruh, am I saying the same shit? Before I'm even using the word redundant, I'm just being, bruh, didn't I just say that shit?
Yeah.
You like, nah, bro, but you can do this and do. So seeing you do that with other people, I already know how creative you get when it comes to that music, how passionate you are. And I already know what you're going to bring to the table with them type of people. So that they are blessed to have a manager like you because you're the type, like you say, you are the manager that you always wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. Go ahead, LD.
Where did you, so this is a major question because you can come from the same place, but now you go out and you can do different things, right? So you got one person A might decide to stay, right? But y'all come from the same place, but person B came from the same environment, but they decided to do a little more. And then they did a little more, but that little more taught them a little more. And that little more taught them a little more. But the other person decided from the same place, they decided to stay because of this. You talked about something about growing out of your comfort zone. So where did you learn that? That's what I want to know.
I got kicked out of my comfort zone. You remember my mom kicked me out of my comfort zone. Like I was very comfortable in Chobe. I was very, very comfortable. I was very happy in Chobe. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, you got to think I'm young. So me as a 41-year-old man now, I'm not thinking like I was when I was a 20-year-old, you know, pretty much a 20-year-old kid, 19, 20-year-old kid.
But she kicked you out. She kicked you out and she took you.
With love.
But you still didn't have to do nothing. You still didn't have to do anything, right? You could have got comfortable where you.
Well, I think because you got to think, because I left so abruptly, there's always this feeling of, as much as I love home, I made a vow to myself. I said, I'm never going back home. I'm never going back home. And it's not to the sense of like, I'm never going back. It's like, I'm never going back to be complacent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going back there to be complacent after I've already left and I'm doing all of these things. I'm not going back. So I always have that whole thought process, like I can't go back home. And it's not, can't go back home because you don't love home. It's because my personal goals and the things that I want for myself and the things that I want for my life, if I don't achieve those, I'm going to feel like a failure and I can't live with that. I can't live with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with failing. I'm 100% okay with failing. I'm not okay with not trying. I'm not okay with not trying. And I'm not okay with being 51 years old, 61 years old, talking about some boy, if I would have just went, like, I'm not okay with that, bro. I'm not okay with that. Like, I have to actually, like, I'm going to go and I'm going to fail and then I'm going to figure out why I failed and then I'm going to go fail again if I have to. But I'm going to keep trying to actually do it. But I cannot live and that's been anything I've ever done. Like, I cannot, like, me, like, being a jit, right? And playing, like I was saying, like, all my partners, all of them was football players. They were football players. Cam was cold on the basketball court, but on the football field, he was a little different, right? He was different. Like all my partners, they was like, you know what I'm saying? They was in football. But even then, knowing that I was a basketball player, knowing that I was basketball driven, seeing them actually do it, I said, man, I gotta actually try this. I'm a young kid at the time, like I gotta play football. I gotta play football because I can't go through school and they be like, man, tell you ain't never played football. I did do it. You know what I'm saying? But it still wasn't my thing. I wasn't bad at it. It just wasn't my thing. But I couldn't go with saying like, dang, man, I couldn't, like, I ain't try to do that, or I didn't do it, or say I didn't do it. And now I just do that. Now it's just different levels. Yeah, we can talk about it as, you know what I'm saying, we playing, football or OCRA football, but you got to still take that same lesson to like right now. Like, bro, I can't do it and say, man, dang, I didn't do this. I could have got this person the deal, but I didn't make that extra call. I didn't call this person. I ain't go see if I could do it. Like, bro, I ain't cool with that. Like, that don't sit right with me. And that's a personal thing. And I think I'm a little bit more maniacal and kind of wired and maybe a little off a little bit because I'm going to go figure it out. Like, I tell people, like, I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about a lot and I will go find you that answer. So I'm going to just keep like going. So I can't just not try it, bro. So getting kicked out, like I was like, I gotta go try it. And then it just keeps going. Like I said, every single level, you're like, okay, I gotta go. How do I get to the next one? And you just keep doing it. And you got to be wired like that. I think you have to be wired for greatness. Like there's a difference between the best and there's a difference between greatness. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James is the best basketball player I've ever seen. But when we talking about greatness, when I say all around basketball player, yeah, cool. But when we talking about greatness, it's a different story. That's why Mike will always be the greatest. Like people don't understand what that word great means. They're trying to compare the best and stats and all of this stuff. When you chasing greatness, it's another level of focus and it's another level of thought process and another level of attention to detail that you have to achieve greatness. And I've always wanted to be a person to chase greatness on any level opposed to just saying, I want to be the best at something. No, I want to be great. I want people to remember me for being a staple because I'm not going to be the best. That's a sports thing. We grew up with that. I'm not going to be the best, but you're not going to tell me I ain't the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that was my whole thing. I'm chasing another level of greatness, bro. And I'm chasing another level of like, I want to be that person where like, dang, he just got his artist signed here, but dang, he in the studio all the time, brother. He different. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like you achieve you achieve your own level of greatness, bro. But I'm not cool with not chasing that.
And speaking about like what you're doing as far as for your artists and coming from where you come from in your musical background and you being an artist yourself, at what point did you say, you know what, I need to sit my ass down and I need to understand the business side to this music, not getting in the studio and getting behind the mic,
right?
Because that's the easy part. But understanding where this can take me and how I can use this to navigate and push someone else. When did that happen for you?
So I would say that happened in 2019 when I did my last show. And I remember as a jit, I told my mom, I said, the day that I go on stage and don't feel butterflies, I'm not going to do it no more. It's over. It's over for me. And when I went on stage, bro, it was a great show. It went off flawless, like nothing happened. I just didn't feel that feeling on the inside. But like I said, in that moment, I was already kind of like looking at, dang, like I want to get my own artist and you know what I'm saying, and start to really go, because I was learning the business over time. Like while I wasn't one of those artists that just didn't know the business. Like I knew the business, like as far as, you know, cause I was, like I said, I've been signed twice, you know what I'm saying? So like, I got to kind of know what's going on, what these contracts are talking about, who my attorney is, when to go talk to my attorney, like all this, what's my publishing splits, what's all, like I had to know all of that ahead of time. So when I started managing, like I said, I wanted to be the manager that I always wanted to have that knowledge. It's just that I brought that whole artist knowledge with me so I can talk to you about a whole bunch of different things opposed to just talking about just the business of it. I can talk to you about every single aspect of you being an artist.
Okay.
But that was about 2019. I would say, like, I just went full-fledged into it. Like I said, I wanted to just manage my partner who was the producer, and that turned into me managing a bunch of artists. And that's my most lucrative run in the music, no matter how long I was an artist, was me being a manager and something. So
the music business, for the people in the don't know a whole lot about the music business and don't really know a whole lot about how a song is constructed. I want to ask you, since you've been on both of them, about constructing a song. What is that process like, building a song?
Well, for me, it's a whatever your feeling is, that's what you go with. Whatever like, you got to let the room talk to you. You got to let there's a thing about people seeing seeing sounds. If you don't understand what seeing sounds is, like, then you probably don't have the deepest thought process of like creating something from, like, you gotta think music is the place where you literally create something out of nothing. Like, you create it from an idea, and then all of a sudden it becomes a whole song. My process as far as actually doing it is I love to actually sit down with producers and work with them in lockstep. As Postman told you earlier, like I was groomed like that, to sit down with the producer, and then you actually coming up with ideas, and then you're just building the song around everything that's actually going on at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that question is, for me, is one way, but you're going to get a different answer from every single person that you ask as an artist of how they want to build a song, or as a producer, how they want to build a song. Because sometimes, me being a songwriter, sometimes I'm coming into a situation where the song is already pretty much there. They need to know what to do with the song. The song's already done or built. They just need to know what to do, what to move around and all of that. So it's different situations of how we actually, build records and stuff like that. But me, like I said, I'm that person. I want to be, my ideal way is from scratch, from no sounds to a whole composition, is how I want to actually build those records out. But I don't think everybody's not willing to do that. And with the internet now, everybody's okay with just grabbing a beat, writing, putting it down and going out. But when you understand yourself a lot more when you can organically build these things around you. That's why a lot of people have the same sound and has never been able to cultivate their own sound,
right,
to where, like, if you want this sound, you got to come to me. I deem my music as float music. If people actually listen to records that I've written, they understand, that sounds like something he wrote, because I literally built that sound. When I told you I changed my whole sound in 2013 as an artist, right, I had already started building that sound. Me and Michael Knight started building that sound anyway. We just translated over into other artists to be able to put records out on them. So it's, like I said, it's a different process, but it kind of, for me, it depends on what situation I'm in at that time of how that song has been built. But ideally, start from nothing and build it all the way up, bro. Like building blocks.
Hey, I want to, we're going to do some name dropping. I heard you holler out Neo earlier, right? You called out Neo earlier. What's that like? For the people that don't know who Neo is, let them know who Neo is, and then tell them what was your experience like working with Neo.
Neo, 3-time Grammy Award winner, one of the best songwriters to ever live, one of the best R&B artists of our generation. I think it's surreal in a sense, because I think the first time I was ever in the studio with him, I was just invited because I had met him a couple years back in LA, because me and my partner did a celebrity basketball game out in LA, and it was with his charity. So that's when I first met him. But he had came to Atlanta, and my homeboy Corey McHale was like, hey, he needs an engineer. So I was like, no problem. So I called my engineer, and I was like, hey, you want to record with Neo tonight? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah. So we went to First Class Studio here in Atlanta, and Neo told Corey to tell your man to pull up too. Like, he put the play together, pull up. So pulled up, and I don't know, like, if you watch it, you remember when the bubble, like the NBA was in the bubble in 2020, right? The NBA was in the bubble, and then one of the games, I think whether it was a finals game or whatever it was, he did the national anthem, and it showed on the screen and everything. Well, I was in the studio the night he recorded it. So I'm sitting in the studio. I think at that time, that was probably, because I had a song like in 2008 with Wayne, where Wayne did a hook for me or whatever. And like, that was cool, but me and Wayne was never in the same room together. Right. At that time. And I had been in the rooms with multiple celebrities, but being a songwriter and being somebody who is like, this is still Neo, right?
That's right.
I think at that moment, instead of me actually being like, dang, because at first like, it was like, dang, that's Neo really singing in the booth. Like that's really Neo singing in the booth. But I think once he walked out the booth, I was like, I belong here. I belong here. There's no more of that. And I remember that night, he literally listened to my artist Asia's whole entire project. We played her project was about to come out. We played the whole project from top to bottom. He listened to it and critiqued it. He don't know me from a can of paint at this point. And that's how we kind of like started a relationship. So the next couple of sessions that we was in, like I was locked in. He was like, hey man, G, what you think about this, man? What we gonna do with this? Like, and that's when, you realize, like I said, if I didn't have that thought process, like I belong here, I would have never been able to perform in those situations, like down the line. Because I would have been like, man, no, when we in here, bro, when we in these walls, nah, bro. Nothing matter. Grammys don't matter. Your money don't. None of that matters. Like we here to actually accomplish something and get a job done. So, but yeah, once I seen him, like it was cool. Like I was like, but once it changed like that, bro, I can be in the studio with anybody. That don't phase me.
Real. That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
No, that is real. Because when you said that it switched on
like that,
you didn't
like
have
that.
to think about it, and you instantly knew at that moment. And a lot of people believe, but you at that instant, I belong
because
here.
bro, I worked so hard to get in these rooms. Like I worked so hard and so many years to be able to actually walk in certain rooms where people know who you are. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the time frames where I'm a rapper and I got these records and don't nobody want to hear him because dang, he a rapper. Like he can't do R&B. Like until people giving me a shot and being like, dang, like you really know what you're doing on the R&B side. So him actually asking me for my opinion on certain things or asking me my opinion, like at the time, his self-explanatory album hadn't come out. So we had heard the album first. And he asked me like, you let me know if this should go on there. And I'm telling Neil, nah, that one shouldn't go on there. Don't put that one on. Nah, when I was like that, I said, oh no, it's a rap. And I'm telling this man, don't put this on your album. And in my head, I said, boy, who you think you is? You done told this man. And he was like, that's why he's like that, but that's why I rock with you, bro. Because I literally told I was like, nah, that ain't fitting what you told me you want the album to sound like. That ain't fitting it. So once I started getting in these bands, bro, like it's man, bro, we always saying that man bleed like me. You know what I'm saying? So, we either gonna rock or we not. Now, have I been in proximity with some people like, it's, what everybody see, what everybody love, that ain't that person. That ain't really how they is and all of this stuff. Yeah, that happens a lot too. But overall, bro, like if you feel like you belong because you put in the work to be there, cool. But if you didn't put in the work to be there, dog, you'll always feel like you don't belong. If you know you didn't put the work in. But I put the work, man. I put so much work in, bro. And times where it was just on me and it was just me, bro. Like to be in those rooms with him, to be in the rooms with him, Maya. Oh my God. Like I can name so many other, like Killer Mike, been in the studio with Killer Mike, been in the studio with a lot of these artists, bro. Like we either rocking or we not.
Yeah.
What's up?
Straight up. Straight up.
So young. Mm-hmm.
So that's the beautiful thing about it is you have a small town, but you know how to take that take it to the big and say, I'm gonna use everything that the small town and y'all gonna see, right? Y'all gonna see me just like you talked about the eyes. It ain't like you and saying, hey, look, it's you going out and saying here,
right?
It's a difference.
Yeah. It's a difference. There's a difference, yeah.
Larry, say that again, Larry.
Yeah, that's the difference.
It's not you going out and saying, look, it's saying, here I am.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned a lot, and this is the thing that separates a lot of people in the world. A lot of people they're lazy and they don't want to put the work in. They don't want to return. Yeah. And I always tell Clem this, you gotta have a mindset to return to the
daily.
Yes.
I don't care what you did yesterday. Yeah, just like you said, my biggest is my win now.
Today, yeah.
And even to add to what Larry is saying, Tez, I got to say, Tez, matter of fact, let me sit up. Because, dog, I'm so glad to even be like just talking to you, right? But it's the thing, what you just hearing your story, your journey, and the path that you took to get to where you went, right? It's been a long journey.
Yes.
This ain't no overnight success shit.
No.
Right?
No.
This ain't come by way of I just woke up and voila. Nah, I know your mama. I know your grandma. I know what you went through as a child, right? You wasn't the biggest child when we was growing up. You was probably the smallest individual out of everybody, right?
Out of everybody,
but what you never had was, and I was telling Tyke this, man, that nigga ain't never had the little man complex. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't never had a Napoleon complex, right?
Right.
If he ain't never felt like he need to poke his chest out on every scene, he always was himself.
Right.
He ain't tried to be nobody other than who he was, and that has helped you navigate through life right now today. That has kept you married for 16 years because for the last 16 years, working in the music industry and all these things that's going on in and around you, places you at, things that you see could have easily set you on a detour mission. But you said from earlier.
Yeah.
When that wife called, say, hey, I don't give a damn what the fuck going on over there. You need to get your ass on. You know what you do? You become a husband. You dead ass right. I need to get my ass home. Because you know what you realize? I ain't got no room for error.
Right.
I set out to do this, and I'm gonna be, you just said, I chase greatness. So if I'm gonna be the greatest manager, if I'm gonna be the greatest songwriter, I got to be the greatest husband. I got to be the greatest father. You can't chase greatness and want to be great at doing this, but you'll settle for being subpar doing
it. Right.
No one's wired like that. And if they are, then they lying, right? That means you don't really give a fuck what you gonna be anyway.
Right.
And I appreciate Larry so much. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. And I talk about this with my brothers. Me and Larry can be on the phone. I hang up with him and I call trouble. I said, man, you ain't gonna believe what me and Larry was just talking about. He be like, boy, it had to be something good. But it's the excitement that he hears, because what Larry does for me is he rejuvenates me daily, right?
Yeah.
When I call Kurt, me and Kurt ain't talking about 20, 30 years ago. We talking about 20, 30 years down the road. What do you see down there? Right? That back there has already been done. You can't get that time back, right? But what are you doing today that's gonna help you navigate and put yourself in position for you and your family down that road?
Right. Absolutely.
A lot of people that we bring onto this podcast, we talk to therapists. I didn't know how important therapy was for Black men.
Yes, it is.
And women. We talk to counselors, we talk to insurance agents, we talk to realtors, we talk to a multitude of different people. And thanks to Larry, because he reaches out to a lot of these different people, I've had a chance to be in these rooms like this and have conversations with real people who 20 years ago, I'd have been like, what the fuck I'm talking to them for? You see what I'm saying? And that leads to this with your cousin, which is also your artist, right? That just got a deal signed. Talk to us about that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, my cousin Kosa she actually, I started managing her like in 2019. Like when I first started managing, like she was one of my first artists I had. And our family is just like, nah, you got to be with her. Like, take care of your cousin. That you take care of your cousin. She got to be with you. And then she took a little hiatus. And then when she came back, like around December, like she just started having this viral run. And I was like, listen, I'm just trying, like, me and Mike, we gonna be behind your music. Like we just want to put these records on you because I see that you got your little thing. I was really kind of trying to transition out of management kind of altogether. I was gonna kind of like, go into something else. And then she had meetings with multiple like managers, like Kodak Black manager, like a couple of big name like artists, like their managers. I said, did you take the meeting? She's like, I ain't take none of the meeting. I don't trust nobody but you. So I'm about to put your name back in my bio. We back. So I was like, what I'm gonna do? That was January, bro. And we just went on a whole entire tear to where we start getting like labels started to actually call and take interest. We actually had one label call us like 4:00 in the morning, woke us up out of our sleep, like, hey, what y'all doing? We in the studio, like we was talking about this, like we was like, how the fuck did you get our number? Number one, you know what I'm saying? Like it started like things started going crazy, and then the relationship that like she had already kind of had a relationship with like Boog and some of his artists or whatever. Then me and Boog got to talking and just kind of like chopped it up, and we came up with a whole entire plan of what it would look like and how we would want to take her and like really put her in a situation that's going to help her get even bigger to where we can even broker her to like the majors and do all of this stuff. So we put together a plan and put together a deal for her to actually go to Red Rum, which was already cool because she had, like I said, there was relationships was already there because everything is built on relationships in this business, bro. So like it just was it was kind of like a really dope fit. And I mean, we just recently signed a deal a week and a half ago, and we just been, a lot of things been just going up, and like she'll actually be here Friday because she got a whole entire weekend of press and everything like that, plus some sessions, and then she got to look at a few places because she ain't got no choice. She got to move here. She been back and forth to Atlanta like every week. Like it reminds me of like when I was in Charlotte. Now I was going back and forth like that.
That real grind.
And like she like one of the biggest things, not the biggest thing in Tampa right now. So like it's like she's snapping, bro.
So, and you say her name is, what is it?
Kosa.
And what's that new single that we need to be looking?
Go listen to First 48.
Kosa, First 48, y'all.
And what can it?
All platforms. You can actually find her project Control Chaos is on there, which First 48 was the first single off of that. So yeah, Control Chaos.
Okay.
Man, hey,
Okay.
bro, I'm proud.
Thank
Damn
you.
right. Damn
You,
right.
Thank
you,
you.
and somebody sent you out,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, man.
and from that point, you had to navigate and figure it
Hmm.
out
Yeah.
with the
Mm-hmm.
thing that was already in you. And it does say that your gift will make room.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have all the answers. You just need,
You
once
need
you
to
get
get
a
a push.
little,
I think authenticity is contagious.
come on.
You know what I'm saying? Authenticity is contagious, and people can feel that. Like when Cam was saying, like, yeah, I never had to actually feel like I had to be somebody else, but I also never felt like I was better than anybody else. You know what I'm
Come on.
saying? That's my whole thing. I carry a level of confidence on me that that may make some people uncomfortable, but if my confidence makes you uncomfortable, then the problem is with you, not with me. Because
Child,
I'm not ever dimming my light for nobody else. But I never also wanted anybody to feel. That's why I said, like, I think it kind of always just keeps going back because this is a full circle moment. Like seeing Cam, like, y'all don't know what we were like, that room, bro. Like for 3 months of just like learning, like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I took all of those tools because, bro, like I don't feel like I'm better than nobody, but I understood the power of helping people for real in that moment and
Yeah.
helping. Like it
Yeah.
was like there was no egos, and that even translated over into like when we all went to Huntington and everything. Like there was no egos, like, bro. When you can actually blend with certain people, I can go over here and chill with Dawson, Dallas and them, and then be over here. But I can also get with these boys because half of these boys, my teammates are like, I'm playing ball with them and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
anyway,
Right.
so like I was always able to blend, bro. So it didn't matter where I was at, whether what studio I was at, what team I played on. I was always ready to blend, bro, and just help and pour into people, bro. Like that's my gift is pouring into people. I've learned over the years that not to expect everybody to pour back into me because I understood my gift is to pour into it and God pour into me. And I don't need nothing else, bro.
Damn. Hey,
come
before
on.
we get out of here, man, I'm gonna ask you this because hearing your story and your journey, I just want to know this.
Mhm.
What is the biggest misconception that someone has had about Givenchy Royal?
That I probably think I'm better than everybody, or I think I'm here, or anything like that. But I always tell people like this: if you don't have the conversation with a person, you don't know what that person is about. It's like just like how when y'all said, like, I was so happy that y'all reached out to me. I was like, y'all reached out to me before I reached out to y'all, because I was about to be like, hey man, let me get on that, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm saying. But y'all reached out to me. But like I think the biggest misconception is that that I don't want to help. I don't want to actually do this. Like I'm just now I'm in a position to where I can actually help a lot of people,
Okay.
but there's criteria and there's things that go along with being able to be helped. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably the biggest misconception growing up more so than anything. But like I said, we got this, bro. We come from this. So
Yeah.
as long as I know how to actually have a conversation and talk and converse with people in the right manner, in the right way, and respect people and respect their space and respect their time, bro, I mean, you can say whatever you want to, but one thing you can't say is he ain't authentic. So that's,
Come on.
you know.
And there you
Mhm.
heard it for the people in the back.
Mhm.
And there you heard it for our people.
Man, thank you for joining us, man. We really appreciate having you. We ain't gonna
Hey,
take up
hold
no
on,
more of your
man.
time.
Hold on, man. Hold on, dog.
My bad. Go ahead.
So we're gonna ask you to, I
What's up?
don't know if you want to bless us with it, and this is expected, but we're gonna ask you to bless us with 16 balls.
That man ain't that. Ted, you got a 16 in you off the like just like that. You still go that hard? Okay, okay, okay. 20 years ago, I don't think that would have been no pressure.
No pressure.
No,
20
yeah,
years.
it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't have been no pressure. Now, do I have them?
Okay.
Do I have them in me? They're there. They're there. They don't go nowhere. They don't go nowhere. But am I gonna give them? Nah. But they there. They there, man. They there.
Hey,
I can't pull out something the size of a pirate ship right now. Right now.
oh, that what
Right
sound
now.
like.
Right now. That sounds like some little dirty, don't it?
Hey, you just took me back when you remember saying this shit sitting down the living room, man. Like, what the fuck? What does that even mean at this point? But for real, bro, thank you, bro, for coming on here and sitting with us. We definitely look forward to bringing you back. We're gonna be
Definitely.
we're gonna continue to follow your artists. Blessings to you and your cousin on her journey as well. All other artists that you are putting your hands on, you know what I'm saying? I just want to leave you with this. Continue to put God first.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Continue to put God first and allow him to open up the doors for you. Because
Absolutely.
the devil got the ability to open some doors too now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to be
Especially
ready
in this industry. Especially in this industry, boy.
Right. So you just continue to walk by faith and not by sight. But like they say in that good book, and that ain't saying I'm just gonna put all my faith in something that I ain't never seen, but I know it exists. I got to have faith in me. And through the spirit of discernment, I'm gonna be able to determine where I need to go. This is gonna be my real navigation tool, my spirit of discernment. And that's what I want to leave you with. You continue to be authentic and lead by your spirit of discernment, and that's gonna put you in the right room around the right people, so you ain't got to never worry about ending up in the wrong place.
I mean, bro, I don't get this far. I don't get this far without God. I always say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a show off. God is. He the one showing off.
So shit.
So you know, it like he always gonna be first. It's always gonna be the number one thing. I mean, that's who I vent to. That's who I, you know what I'm saying, you know, express my frustrations to. He get them all. He get it all first. You know what I'm saying? But he also taught me one good thing, man. Like in any time, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Like if you ever find yourself in a moment of anger, of frustration, or like you just mad at something, you could be mad at the world. Allow yourself 5 minutes to get it all out, and then minute 6, you start thinking of solutions that will change your life. Because once something has happened, you can never change it. But once you actually start thinking about solutions, you can change the way you feel about it. So allow yourself 5 minutes to go in on your rage, and after 5 minutes, put your pants on, start thinking about solutions of how to actually change the way you feel, which means that you're going to change the situation at hand itself. So there you go.
Followers?
How can you be reached?
You can actually follow me at @thebanddirector_.
And that's on all platforms.
That's on all platforms. Yep.
And we'll put that in the description.
Go listen to Control Chaos by Kosa.
Man, I'm gonna go listen to that when we get off here.
Go listen to it, boy. When I tell you, my hands all over that, boy. All over it. All over it. All over it.
Again, good seeing you, bro. We definitely got to stay in touch, bro. And you take care of me.
Not a problem, man. I appreciate y'all. Love, bro.
Love, bro.